Welcome to the clinical cookout. Cookout.
Hey y'all, it's Auntie Ashley at the Clinical Cookout, and it is Friendly Neighborhood Therapist Friday, so I'm wrapping up our week about intimacy. If you missed our episode on Wednesday, go back and watch. It is available on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts, Amazon, all the platforms. Just type in the Clinical Cookout. And of course, we still want y'all to share so that everyone can subscribe. Please subscribe on YouTube. That's really the most important thing. And we're also wanting anyone on Facebook to please go and follow the page. Support positivity. I hear people all the time talking about all the different podcasts that are out there, and they just give anybody a microphone, and I agree. But we are trying to bring mental health awareness and education, which is a very positive, very good thing, especially for our community. So share it, y'all. Share it. Watch, support. Anyway, my wrap up for today is going to be real simple. I just want to talk to y'all about the 3 C's of intimacy, which are communication, compromise, and commitment. So let's get into it. The first C, communication. Communication is the key to any good intimate relationship. And remember, intimacy is not just about romantic relationships. It's also about our friendships, our family relationships, anybody that we are close to. So with communication, you got to realize that everybody communicates differently. You got to realize that everybody has a different communication style. You got to realize that everybody comes from a different background and learned how to communicate from the people around them. So not everybody is able to be as open. Not everybody is comfortable communicating per se. But the biggest skill in communication is actually listening. If you don't know how to actively listen, you already don't know how to communicate. So you have to know how to actively listen to people, especially people that you care about. That way they feel heard. And it also helps with understanding. When we don't listen, when we halfway listen, we halfway communicate. And we are reacting to things that might not have been said or things that we misunderstood. Actively listen, ask for clarification, reflect back what people have said to you. If you are in a conversation and somebody says something, to let them know that you have been listening, kind of reflect back what you just heard so that you can make sure you got it right. Another thing with communication is it is not only verbal, it is nonverbal. Sometimes your body talks louder than your mouth. So you might be saying one thing, but your face and your body is saying a totally different thing. And you have to be cognizant of that, because you could, personal example, I could tell my husband I'm fine. He'll ask me, what's wrong with you? I'm fine. He literally knows better. And I'm sure y'all have experienced that. He know I'm not fine. He can read it on my face. I cannot put on a poker face like that. I wear myself on my sleeve. People can see what I'm feeling usually. So don't even lie. Don't front. Be real. If you have an intimate enough relationship, you should absolutely be able to be real with people in that situation. So communication is absolutely key. Next, compromise. And compromise also goes with another C, conflict. Because if it ain't no conflict or disagreement, we wouldn't have to compromise, right? If we were both the same and thought the same and felt the same about everything, we wouldn't have to compromise. But that's not the case. You are very different from people that you are in intimate relationship with. You are going to have disagreements. So do you know how to have a healthy disagreement? Do you know how to have healthy conflict? Do you know how to listen in conflict? Because the main thing with conflict and compromise is feeling seen and heard. If you feel like you are heard and understood, that makes a way bigger difference than if y'all just arguing and you feel like you're not even hearing me. You're not even hearing what I got to say. You're not trying to understand me. That changes things. So compromise is all about what you are willing to bend. And sometimes you got to be willing to bend, because no relationship is like Burger King. You cannot always have it your way, unfortunately. So with knowing you can't always have it your way, where are you willing to be flexible? Where are you willing to bend? Where are you willing to compromise? Now, this does not mean compromise your values or compromise your boundaries or your limits. That's not what I'm saying. But everything ain't a boundary and a limit. Like, I know we talk heavy about get your boundaries together, be able to hold and maintain your boundaries. But some of y'all be making boundaries and it really be rules. That's one. And sometimes, is that boundary really something that bothers you, that's triggering, or is it just something that you want? That's a different thing. So be willing to compromise. On the things that are not that crucial, you got to be willing to bend, all right? Everything is not a hill to die on. Some things you can just drop. You don't have to agree. You can agree to disagree. That is okay. So compromise is going to be crucial to building and maintaining intimacy. Last but not least, commitment. Are you committed to this relationship? Is it a priority? Do you put each other first? And again, not just romantic. So commitment allows us to feel secure in the relationship. When you feel insecure and you feel like somebody on shaky ground, you don't know if they're going to always show up, always be there, that's already a problem. So the people in your life who you are closely bonded to, do they show up for you? Are they going to be there when you call? Are you able to reach out and ask them for support? And sometimes that's on us because we find it hard to ask for support. But if you got an intimate connection with somebody, you should be able to, and you should feel safe enough to do that. So that commitment is crucial to building not only the security, but trust. And you need both security and trust in order to continue to build intimacy. The more trust you have, the more intimate this relationship will be. The more safe you feel, the more secure you feel, the more vulnerable you'll be able to be in this relationship. Gotta have that commitment. Gotta know we in this thing. With several people in my life, my husband, my close friends, my mama, my aunts, my uncles, my family members, my cousins, we in this thing. It ain't much that can break it besides us. We are the ones that can break and destroy intimacy by allowing things to factor in that don't even need to factor in. But because we're committed, we're also committed to working through issues. If you feel like it ain't worth working through the issue, the commitment is gone. So you might want to reevaluate. And everybody don't have to be in your life forever. Some people are just in your life for a season or to teach a lesson. Learn it and go on and move on. But for those bonds that you really want to maintain, got to make sure you keep up with your communication, compromise, and your commitment. Let people know what they mean to you, because tomorrow is not promised. That don't mean let somebody just be in your life and do anything to you because, oh, they might be gone one day. No, you have a right to maintain peace in your life. But understand that any close relationship is going to have its problems. You just got to be willing to work through it. All right, y'all. That's all I got. I hope y'all enjoyed this week, and I want y'all to make sure to join us next week. Theme of next week is to be real. We are talking authenticity. Are you able to be your authentic self at all times? Do you have to switch it up? You put on masks sometimes. You wear personas sometimes. Well, come see what the aunties do. See how we deal with being authentic. I hope y'all join us. Holler at y'all later.